Do you want to grow your YouTube channel in 2022? Well, then I've got 5 things you need to start doing right now. Welcome back, everyone. If this is your first time here, my name's Patrick. I've been a professor of business and marketing for 25 years, and I've successfully monetized 2 channels here on YouTube, and I'm working on a 3rd. So over the last 4.5 years, I've learned quite a few things about what to do and not to do here on YouTube if you want to be successful. And so today what I want to do is talk about 5 things that I'm working on to get ready for the new year, and you should be working on too if you want to see your channel grow. Whether you're just getting your channel started in the new year, or maybe you're working on getting monetized, or maybe you just plateaued and you're looking to re-spark your channel, I think these 5 tips are going to really help you out. And we're going to start with tip number 1, which is you need to make sure you have defined who your audience is and exactly what is it that you're providing to them. Now, why is that important? Well, first of all, if you're just putting out random content, then the algorithm isn't going to know what your channel's about, which means it can't really serve it up to the right people. So you need to know exactly what kind of content you're making and who it's designed for. And once you do that, once you really define who that target market is and what value you're going to be giving them, it becomes a lot easier to grow on YouTube. So for instance, over on Travels with Delaney, our main channel, that channel's all about RVing and living life to the fullest. So we know that our demographic is primarily 45 and up, and here on YouTube, it's primarily males, but it's designed for anyone who's interested in RVing, whether they're weekend warriors or whether they're full-timers. And the value we try to provide them is we try to share with them tips, tricks, and techniques to help them make in RVing much more enjoyable. So our content in 2022 is going to be geared towards specifically that. If it doesn't directly relate to what we are trying to provide for them, then we just don't post the video. Now on this channel, it's totally different. On this channel, we're primarily targeting any YouTube channel that's under 10,000 subscribers. Now, understand when we say targeting, it doesn't mean if you're currently watching this video and you have 15,000 subscribers that you're not allowed to watch or it might not help you. It just means we're really focusing on 10,000 subscribers and less, and we're primarily focusing our content for those of you that are in the RV, travel, outdoor adventure, or educational niches, because that's where we're at with our channels, and it's what I teach, so I can hopefully provide some information that will be useful. So first thing you need to do, sit down, really try to define who is the ideal viewer for your channel on YouTube and exactly what type of content and value will you be providing for them. All right, now let's go on to our second tip, which is you need to set goals for 2022. Now, I do this every year at the start of the year, and those goals can be both, things like how many subscribers would you like to see your channel have at the end of the year? How many views would you like to see? Or they could be goals on very specific metrics, like maybe you want to improve your click-through rate, or maybe you want to improve your audience retention time. The reason you need to have goals, though, is it gives you something to work for throughout the year. And so sit down and come up with 3 to 5 really good goals related to growing your YouTube channel and work towards those. Because when you work towards a goal, you're only going to get better because you're going to be really focused on accomplishing whatever goals you've set. And again, don't be limited by the goals that I just threw out. I mean, it could be things like maybe you want to improve your engagement with your audience. So you're going to set a goal of every week going in once a week and responding to every comment and liking every comment and trying to build a community around your channel. Or maybe it's a goal around you want to find a partnership to help grow your channel in the new year. So whatever those goals are, sit down and like I said, 3 to 5 is optimal, and just make sure it's something you can actually track. Make sure it's a reasonable goal. If you're starting at 0 today, probably 100,000 subscribers at the end of the year is not a realistic goal. But maybe you're in the 200 to 500 subscriber range and you've been struggling. Let's make this the year that you get to 1,000 subscribers and you finally get monetized. The third thing you need to be doing is you need to be developing a list of topics that you're going to be making videos on in the upcoming year. No, you don't need to come up with 52 ideas if you post once a week. But what you do need to do is start thinking about maybe your next 5 or 6 videos. So what I do is I just keep an ongoing list on my iPad, and every time I come up with an idea for a video, I just jot it down. Now, when will I get around to making it? Well, who knows? But what I'm doing is I'm growing this list so that when it is time to create the next video, I have lots of options. And so start today and try to get at least 3 to 5 ideas down on paper. And then, like I said, every time you come across something, every time a subscriber says, hey, could you do a video on this? Write that down on your list. It's going to make it a lot easier then to always have content that you can go out and create. If you're getting any value out of this video, would you do me a favor and hit the thumbs up button? It really helps out. And if you want to continue to grow your channel with me, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you get notified each time I put out a brand new video. Now let's get right back into this video. Number 4 is you need to set a schedule and be consistent in 2022. I think one of the biggest mistakes that I see channels make when they first get started is they just kind of create a video and say, well, let's post it. And you know what? That's okay. At least you're posting. But if you really want to be successful, you need to be consistent because your audience needs to know, when can I expect the next video from you? So pick a day, pick a time, and stick with it so that your audience can know what to expect and when to expect it. So good example is Travels with Delaney. We currently are on Sunday mornings at 8 a.m. and we never miss a Sunday morning. Now, the only time we miss is if we take a break, and there's nothing wrong with taking a break. I mean, if you're just worn out, tired from making content, let your community know that, hey, we're going to be taking a break for a few weeks, but we'll be right back, and take that break. But in general, though, you really should set a day at a minimum, and preferably a day and a time, so that your audience knows exactly when they can expect that next video. Now, don't worry. Let's say you pick out a day and a time and you find out it's just not working for you after a month or 2 months. You can always change. I can tell you that when we first started Travels with Delaney, we were posting on Monday mornings. Ultimately, it moved to Monday nights. At some point, we moved it to Sunday nights, and just a couple months ago, we moved it to Sundays at 8 a.m. We're always tweaking our posting schedule to try to find the optimal day and time. Here's some things to keep in mind if you already don't have a posting schedule. Think about, when will your viewers most likely be online? Because we know that the algorithm wants to see that video start and do well in the first 4 hours. So if you're posting at 3 a.m. Eastern time, there's not going to be a lot of people on YouTube, especially if you're based here in the United States and that's where your demographic is located. So think, really strategically about what would be a good time. Now, once you get enough content into the system, YouTube will actually provide you a screen that shows you when the bulk of your viewers are online. And that's a good way to kind of get a sense. So use that tool if you have it available. But if you don't, I can tell you, for us, nights, like 4 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Eastern, that tends to work good. I really like Wednesday nights. If we do any bonus episodes on Travels with Delaney, they always go on Wednesday nights at 4 p.m. Sunday mornings at 8 a.m. been working for us. You might say, well, why did you leave Sunday nights? Well, let me tell you. It was overcrowded. There had been so many new RV channels starting to post at Sunday nights that it just became overcrowded, and it was kind of diluting out the views, because obviously people only have so much time on a Sunday night to watch videos. We jumped to 8 a.m. and what we found is we're actually doing pretty well in the morning, because we had our viewers tell us, hey, we'd love to watch your video before we get our day started or before we head off to church or whatever they're doing on a Sunday morning. But don't be afraid to experiment it, but the key is pick a day and time, try it out, and try to become consistent with your posting in 2022. Number 5. Before you render down your video and post it to YouTube, here's what I want you to do next year. I want you to watch it one last time, okay? I know you've edited it, you've done a complete watch through. Watch it one more time. And I'm going to kind of throw this in as a caveat. Less is more. When you're watching your videos, be prepared to start cutting out chunks. When I watch videos, I say, that's important to me, but is it important to you, the viewer? And typically when I do one final watch of my video before I post it, I find little chunks and pieces where I'm like, well, it seems important to me, but it may not be important to the viewer. Whenever students ask me how long should a video be, I tell them it should be as long as it needs to be, but it definitely shouldn't be a second longer than that. So when you're starting out, I mean, if you can put together a solid to the point video in 5 minutes, then that's what I would do. Don't try to get to 10 just because you think, well, if I get a longer video, it'll do well. It won't do well, because if it's just a lot of filler, people are going to drop off. They're going to realize like there's no value in this. So keep the package tight, as I like to call it. And if you do that one last watch through and make any final adjustments, and again, the key areas I'm looking for in that final, I'm looking at audio quality, especially if you're using background music. Can I hear you talking versus hearing the music? Second thing I'm looking for is just, is there any place I left in fluff that I need to get out of there? Now I want to throw in a bonus tip for 2022. Now, it seems like when a lot of us start off, we always say, oh, we're just doing this for fun. We just want to post for our family. And that's okay if that's what you're doing. I'm going to do a whole separate video on different types of YouTubers. But if you're watching this channel, most likely you want to actually get monetized and you probably want to make money on YouTube. But if you're going to do that, you have to start treating your channel like it's a business. So I want you in 2022 to start using a business mentality or a management mentality, and think about your subscribers as being customers, and how do I take care of them, and how do I deliver products and services that they actually want. And that's where things like being scheduled and being on time with your videos, you wouldn't run a restaurant and go, well, I don't know what days and time we're going to open up next week, but just drive by, and if we're open, you can come on in and eat. Treat your channel like a business. And once you start treating it like a business, I think you're going to find out that your channel will start to see growth, because you're going to start putting in a amount of time and effort each week to help to grow and nurture that business. All right, I hope those 5 tips plus that bonus tip helps you out. If you're looking for additional help, over on our main channel, Travels with Delaney, we have the membership tab activated, and we have a tier at $49.99 that's specifically for YouTube creators, and it's going to get you some Zoom time so we can talk about your channel and do some strategizing, and Zoom time with other creators and sharing and helping each other out. So if you want to dive in a lot deeper on your channel at a very affordable rate, you can check that out over at Travels with Delaney. Let's kick this year off right, have those ideas ready to go, and I can't wait to hear what you have planned. Let me know what your goals are for 2022. Drop it down below, and until next time, everybody, we'll see you.